Imagine being the only one that can see and hear ghosts in the world. They tell you their sadness and complaints, but every other person thinks you are running mad slowly. That's the story of Shin, a young lawyer from a family that barely keeps up with the trend. Shin is a kind-hearted and young lawyer in search of employment. He has applied to 2 law firms, but did not gotten any positive reply. When he got home, he told his family that every law firm in the country is looking to employ him. His family was so happy and they gave everyone free food and drinks. If you're new here, please like and subscribe. Meanwhile, in reality his father's reputation is the reason he is not getting any job. They transferred the gate to him. One time he went to an interview and when it got to his turn, they refused to ask him any questions. He walked up to them and took back his application. That evening he promised to take his future into his hands and create his own law firm. He told his friend that all the people that have mistreated him because of his father will bow to him and serve him. The next day, he begged his landlord to give him an office property that has direct views to the courthouse, so he can see it from there. His landlord said to him, "You are lucky, I have just the right one for you." He took him to a red brick building, with a very wide office space for discount price. When he showed him the office view, he was so happy and everything went as planned. The next day after settling into his office, he saw an incense and burnt it. Immediately he did that, a cloud of smoke came out and he slept off. He woke up few minutes later and saw a man wearing white in front of him. Thinking it was a regular human being, he stood up to welcome him to the office and the next thing, the man started floating. He quickly hid under the table, but the ghost followed him. Immediately, he calmed up the landlord to tell him what he is facing, and that he wants his money back or another office. The landlord told him that there is nothing like ghosts and he sees nothing. He asked Shin to stop worrying and focus on his work. When he figured out it is a ghost, he ran home from the office. When he got home, he started behaving strange, eating things he was not used to eating, and it got him sick. This was because the ghost possessed his body at that point. When he was about to sleep, he heard the ghost reading a Bible and asked him, "Who are you?" The ghost sadly replied, "I don't know my name or anything." The next day, Shin went to a pastor to chase away the ghost. He told the pastor he was possessed and the pastor sprinkled holy water on him, but nothing happened. They went to the office together to see what had happened, and the pastor advised that if he helped the ghost find peace, he would leave him alone. And to do that, you need to tell him his date of birth and real name. That afternoon, a young woman came in search for the former owner of the office space. The former owner was nowhere to be found. When Shin asked her who she wanted to ask about, she said, "I wanted to reach out to my husband. He died in shock and since then, my daughter has been locked indoor. She never goes out or even talked to me." She told him the name of her husband and his date of birth. Immediately, the ghost remembers everything that happened throughout his lifetime, from when he was born to his marriage, and to when he got taken in for surgery and died. He remembered the real cause of his death was the negligence of the doctor, but he conspired with the aide to say it was a cardiac arrest due to shock. That night, his mother saw that he did not have any job and asked him how much it would take for him to open a law office. He immediately lied again that he loved his current job and has no reason to leave. The next morning, somewhere in the city, the ghost's wife is being pressured to take a paltry sum for compensation instead of the full amount. Immediately, Shin walked in and exposed the lawyer representing her to be a fraud and told her that he has conspired against her to pay her this little sum, way lesser than what was agreed. In that room, the opposing lawyer was Han, the same lawyer that refused to interview Shin. When they left the room, he told the ghost's wife that the only person that can make the choice to go to court is their daughter, and if she accepts it, he will take it to trial. She called him the next day and accepted. He immediately went into preparation mode. He read day and night, preparing for the trial. On the first day of trial, his family went to court to watch him. When he got to trial, the doctor began to make several lies about the client and his lifestyle. This annoyed the ghost and suddenly he possessed Shin. He walked into the court screaming at the doctor, and when the court told him to calm down, he increased his voice and almost attacked the doctor. Unfortunately for him, as he was charging to the defendant, Han tripped him and he fell. He made a big embarrassment of himself. He quickly acted like he passed out and asked for an ambulance. When they left the court premises, he told the ambulance to drop him off. Because he was possessed, he told the pastor to burn all the talismans so that the ghost can rest, and he will be able to carry out the case effectively. As they started burning them, the ghost possessed him again. This time his mother was there, but he could not recognize her. The ghost took him to a lake and begged him not to get rid of him, and told him to help his sick daughter. He quickly rushed to save her, and with the help of the opposing lawyer, they took her to the emergency room and she was stable. On his way out, he saw Attorney Han waiting to make sure the girl was well. When he told her she is fine, she left the hospital. When he got home, his mother told him she found out he has an office and he used her own money as deposit. Because of this, she collected half of the firm as her own in case there is any problem. That night, on his way to deliver meat for his mother, he told the ghost that he has met the missing nurse they need, and he tried to make her testify, but she refused to testify because she is scared of her life. She told him she needs the money and doesn't want to leave. Instead, she gave him a hint to check out the hospital computer. That night, all the parties went to search for the computer. It was kept in a warehouse owned by a drug lord. On his way there, he picked up his brother-in-law to help him look out. When they tried to open the gate of the warehouse, a swarm of gangsters ran out and attacked them. They quickly locked the gate and hid behind them. They could not find the disk in the computer. Because of this, they used a back door to escape, but as they were about to escape, they saw the opposing lawyer pretending to be the prosecutor. She convinced them to allow her search the warehouse. When they all went in, he found the hard disk in the car of the drug lord. He was about to go, but unfortunately for Attorney Han, she found a pack of cocaine on the floor, and they were not going to let her leave there alive. Suddenly, he drove the car through the wall and tried to save her, but he was too weak compared to the gangsters. The drug lord was about to beat her to death when he played his favorite song. Immediately, the ghost possessed him again and he blacked out. This time, he defeated all the gangsters by himself and knocked the drug lord off to sleep. As soon as he finished them off, he fainted and his cousin ran to bring the car. Alone with the unconscious body of Shin, Attorney Han was tempted to destroy the hard disk. This was the important evidence that would make or break their case. In a turn of conscience, she left the evidence and the police came. With that evidence, they won the case. When her firm found out she left the evidence, she got demoted and left in a smaller office. While she was packing in, Shin came to thank her for the good she did. He knew it was because of her they won the case. The ghost went to say his final goodbye to his daughter. He told her that his death is not her fault and the culprit has been punished. After everything, they went to the top of the building with the pastor. At this point, Shin was getting attached to the ghost, but the ghost told him his work is done and he has to pass on to the other life.